and go into this. In the bottom right-hand side, our blue Zerg player, this is Misaki, who is up 1-0 against Hurricane for Kaizi Gaming. Up against the red Protoss player in the top left-hand side, Hurricane. As we kick this off and get this rolling. I believe I've got everything set back up again correctly, but I'll have to just double-check that as we go. For the moment, everything does seem pretty okay, though. Just to give you guys a bit of an idea of how things are currently looking. So yeah, game 2 of this best of 7 between the two teams. Remember that 6 games get played guaranteed as well. So after this, we have Bunny coming out for Kaizi Gaming, taking on Cyan from Brave Star. And then we have in game number, the 5th and 6th games today, Super taking on Dream. It's actually some really cool matches that could really go either way, so absolutely could be seeing some interesting stuff as these matches develop here. Again, Misaki taking the first game. They played on Disco Bloodbath, I know that much, and I know it was kind of a 17-minute game that kind of did go pretty long. So, yeah, for the most part, kind of, seems like Misaki just really got the upper hand and was able to play it out and able to do very well there. As we follow our Overlord across the map, look to see that's what's going on in the next few moments here. Just going to be seeing that Overlord wandering forwards. And, yeah, just going to be able to see what's up at the front. Stalker is going to Corona Boost out. So obviously, there's not really much tech just yet. Wait to see what Hurricane wants to play. I also believe what I got to see a little glimpse of was that he was trying to play like a double Stargate Phoenix. So I believe that was... he was definitely playing with a lot of Phoenix, so he definitely had a few of those in play. So yeah, interested to see what comes of this next game. He is going to already go into that Stargate now. And it is proxied here as well, so Hurricane proxying up and looking to well, be a bit of an annoyance here at the moment already. So yeah, Hurricane proxying up, getting ready to roll in that one. It's obviously going to be a pretty fast Oracle now. Obviously, he just wants to get some damage done early on. So Misaki, we'll see how well he can deal with that. Usually the problem with the proxy Oracle from the Zerg's perspective is that if you're just kind of blindly building Spore Crawlers to be able to deal with an Oracle timing, they're obviously not going to be up in time to help against the proxy Oracle because the proxy Oracle hits that much sooner. So they can absolutely leave Misaki a little bit vulnerable here and, you know, open to taking some damage. As you see the first Oracle of Hurricane popping out. And already starting to head towards the bottom right-hand side, towards this main base. Depth continuing out of the gateway. That next one coming in as part of the wall. And we do see the Overlord here from Misaki continuing to scout around in the main. Oracle is in though and has been able to pick up 4 drones already. So 4 workers going down, and again, a job well done so far. That's kind of what you're looking for, right? Get some early worker damage done. Put yourself in control of the game from a very early stage, basically. And so far, that's exactly what we're seeing as Hurricane. Dropping down a robotics facility as well. A couple of gateways on the way up from Hurricane 2. So getting gateways up at Sarah. Going to be seeing the Phoenix production continuing. As we're going to see the 2 Oracles together come in for 4 more drones, but that is going to be 1 dead Oracle. So, well, 8 drones killed is definitely good damage from Hurricane. Puts himself in a pretty comfortable worker position. Going to see that robot facility now halfway done. So the continuation of the tech tree is looking pretty potent there, as well as more adepts continue to warp in. They're going to start shading out toward the center of the map. So they're coming out towards the middle here. They're going to be complete in the next few moments. This Phoenix of Hurricane coming up to the top side. Again, trying to get a little look to see what's going on. Try to cancel on a Forge building up here. The Adepts trying to apply some pressure along with the Oracles. Obviously, this would have been a bit better if there's still 2 Oracles here. A bit more potency for fighting against Zerglings. Although those Zerglings did just run straight past this. So already some damage done. Nidus network on the way up. There's a lot of links being made. So we are going to be seeing a Link Queen Nidus here now as the Adepts shade up this ramp. Oh, they won't commit. And because of their lack of vision when in a shade form, they don't see the Nidus yet. So He's still a little unaware of what's going on, although he does obviously get to see at least a lot of these Zerglings. The Depths are going to shade out. 2 of them alive. They can still come back in for some more. Oh, no, he's actually going to commit here. And the Oracle coming back in too. That's 7 drones lost. Well, Misaki is about to go across the map, though, with the Nidus, right? And there is nothing at home, really, to deal with this. 2 Stalkers warp in to start dealing some damage. That's not going to be enough to kill this Nidus network in time. So the Nidus is going to finish up. Oh, the Immortal, though, is going to be here, and the Immortal is going to be able to help get that kill. I mean, the other units coming in as well, obviously quite nice too. Now builds the next one in the natural. Oh, but the Lings, oh my god, do not get in. The Zealot warp in is good to block. The Lings actually, though, will start flooding forwards, and that's going to be Misaki taking GG and well played, as Hurricane is going to take game number 2. God, you know, I'm really glad we got the next game. Yes, just need to paste this in here, whack that down there. So it goes 1-1 in the first series of the day, and we jump into this one now. As we jump into this, let's have a look to see what's going to happen. Obviously, best of 7 tied up in the top left-hand side. Our Red Protoss player is Cyan, and in the bottom right, our Blue Terran player is Bunny. Alright, so as we're here on Thunderbird, we have a nice, easy few bases to take in the early stages of the game. Just going to be seeing the Reaper on the way up to get started from Bunny as well. So Reaper just coming up from Bunny Command Center, dropping down on the natural expansion as we get this set up and ready to roll. We do have the probe just coming in from Cyan, running over to that left-hand side. No China Team Championship logo. I do not want you to maximize. I don't know why you keep doing this. There is some hotkey. It's some kind of very weird like hotkey that keeps making this kind of happen, but it's kind of strange. It keeps like maximizing things that I have selected on experts, so apologies for that, but we can fix it. So yeah, it's 1-1 in this best of 7. Again, so sorry we missed the first game of the day, guys. It's, like I say, it's kind of just frustrating. But we are here now, and of course this is going to be, from here on out, a pretty fun day. I mean, we've got this first series now, and honestly, Cyan Bunny could go kind of crazy too. Cyan is one of the better Chinese players, and, you know, for a while looked to be one of the absolute best. So, yeah, and yeah, I mean, I feel like Cyan can definitely be competitive, especially against a Bunny who seems decent lately, but not unstoppable. Hasn't really played in too much, so it's hard to know where he's really at. Going to be seeing the Stargate coming down, Oracle heading down the bottom right hand side, so having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. As we are just going to be having the Cyclone just popping up here as well. The Oracle is Cyan continuing to the bottom right, and the command center going to be completing from Bunny in the next few moments. So he's already going up into that 3cc build. Across the map, a couple of Hellions get in and get 4 probes of damage into the main base, so already able to do pretty well there. That Nexus starts up from Cyan, so gets that going as just going to be seeing the barracks dropping down. So another barracks from Bunny, obviously skipping the starport here, based on the fact he went into the super fast third base. So yeah, so far so good. And Bunny definitely getting a few probes. I mean, obviously helps out quite a bit. We do have an SCV mid-map going down to a couple of adepts. How many oracles are we going to get out from Cyan, as this is an oracle-based opening? He did lose 1 oracle. God damn, I've been just terrible at watching things. I think he lost the oracle to the Widow Mine. Nope, he didn't. Probably the Cyclone then? Yes. Sorry, guys. Terrible. You can just blame me. Bad observing. So, yeah, a few adepts just setting up forwards and going to be moving. That was one of the most useless shades I've ever seen. I guess it was a couple of adepts in the back that were playing catch-up there. 6 adepts with 2 oracles. I mean, obviously you're looking to overwhelm a little bit here. Siege tank, I mean, it's scary because you don't quite know how many Marines are in that bunker. There wasn't actually many. Maybe you could have shaded there, but you're still going to take siege tank damage. If you didn't shade then, you're not going to shade now. No point going up the ramp. The tank will do too much damage. You won't break down the depots, so better to keep the adepts alive. I mean, like I say, I feel as though there was absolutely an opportunity to shade originally. If you shaded in, Oracles come and help take down the tank quickly. There's not really many Marines in the bunker, and you can pull the Adepts to the right side so you can hit the mineral line. And obviously then the Marines have to come out the bunker to fight, etc. Maybe then it becomes a bit of a mess, but Cyan now has absolutely let that opportunity go by, which is fine. Like, he didn't have to take it. But it does mean, of course, that this aggression is kind of over. At this point, you're not going to just randomly shade these Adepts in or anything. The Oracles obviously will look for openings, but Bunny is pretty well set up. The Cyclone's in good positions, a good Marine count. Looking good so far. Orbital Command pressing forwards is not going to be able to land because of the stasis ward just recently placed. And Bunny just looking for a bit of info, just checking, do you have a third base? How saturated is it? How are you doing along there? Just trying to pick some information up on that, so Bunny able to get some information on that one. Sentry's now on the way out, and the Blink, the +1 attack, both on the way on the Twilight Council, on the Forge. So continuing to get those going as RoboBay drops down in the back of this main base. Cyclone there does get caught in a stasis ward. Marines are going to be able to chase down those Adepts. So a few of those Adepts will go. That's actually really nice. Cleans out all of those Adepts. Nice pickoffs by Bunny. Playing here for Kaizi Gaming. Remember, Kaizi Gaming actually will have access to Innovation from week 2 of the league. That's a huge pickup for them, and they will be absolutely a big contender, especially if they have a player like Misaki who can apparently just come and take games off like Hurricane. That's actually kind of bonkers as well. Just going back into the middle, we'll find Bunny attacking across the map. Cyclone lock on is good to pick off the Oracle. The Oracle will go down, and Marine in the front gets picked off. The bio units from Bunny continue to press forwards here. Scan up the ramp, gonna have a little look to see what's going on. Good force fields here, blocking some of these units up. We will see a sentry taken down, and it's the stasis ward that's the most dangerous, but that's gonna be picked off already. Well, those are Widow Mines in this medevac. They are gonna start unloading. Not sure why they were in there, if they were just getting brought across the map more quickly or what the plan was. You gotta remember that because Cyan lost those early Adepts, his army is just not what it could be. He didn't really find much damage for that. And, I mean, the Colossus pops out at the worst possible time. The bio has put itself into the natural expansion with the Protoss player fixated on the third. And that means that, well, this trade out just goes very favorable towards Bunny. And Bunny now is obviously at that stage where he's kind of running out of bio units, but a few reinforcements coming in, he still has Widow Mines off cooldown, which means he will be able to get a lot done. And if the Zealots are in front tanking for those Stalkers, the Stalkers are absolutely going to die, so the Stalkers have to be a little bit careful here. The Blink micro from Cyan has been very good, but Bunny does just have that little bit too much. I mean, another Colossus on the way out, but I mean, as soon as this Colossus tries to do anything, it's going to be really tough to be, super successful. A couple of Widow Mines in the front at least will take some damage because of the Revelation, giving them the vision. I mean, third Nexus is starting to go down as the tank and the Marauders just fighting the Stalkers. Like I say, this army here from Bunny is just so good. And oh my god, the pylon goes down just before the Colossus pops. Bunny will make sure to get rid of that robo facility, and Cyan is just going to bleed dry here in his natural expansion. The probe tail count is going up, and Cyan is just running the last couple of units in here. It's going to be Bunny picking up game 3 and putting his, well, the Giant Team Championship matches, they do seem to fly by, don't they? Oh, nope, music was already on, didn't need to turn it off. Alright, down in the bottom right-hand side, his early aggression just kind of led to him losing a few too many units, and that loss of units is what really cost him the game, really, as it went on. Cyan could not hold Bunny's attack there in game number 3. On top left-hand side, our Red Terran player Bunny has indeed taken Kaizi Gaming up to a 2-1 advantage in this best of 7. Set this up, continue to get this going. SCV is continuing to mine away on the command center, and yeah, just going to be seeing this SCV of Bunny just hanging out the front as well. Going to be seeing a barracks dropping down in the main base. Probe wandering on forwards up to the top left-hand side. Just going to go and have a little bit of a scout here in the early stages. Just look to see what it might be able to, what they might be able to pick up on. Obviously, it is just going to be a pretty early expand, though, so never player really doing anything too crazy. All said and done. As we set this up, what's up, Barry Condo 74 in the chat says, thanks for doing all of this streaming. Thanks for dropping by and tuning in. It's what it's all about. You guys enjoying the games and stuff. It's not going to be a long stream today, though. It is just going to be the China Team Championship, and then we're done and dusted. Tomorrow we'll have OSC Masters Cup as well as the A Year of Rain competition once again. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for the next couple of days. Thursday going to be WardiTV Summer Championship, European Playoffs. Friday, Korean Playoffs. Saturday, Korean Playoffs. Sunday, StarCraft Sunday Monthly Finals. That's our plan for the week. Quite a nice little plan for the week, isn't it? Maybe we have CSTL on Sunday as well. Probe coming down to the bottom side of the Stargate, starting up from Cyan. Def going to be shading out. And the command center on the way up from Bunny here. To get this going. Jusmo says it rained and he didn't do anything. Slowly went to defense, saw a lot of kitties and ate a lot of food. We ate a lot of food as well. We went to the food festival. I wouldn't say it was like super amazing and like crazy, but it was good for where I live. So too warm in England, too warm in Germany. Yeah, that's been pretty hot, obviously. Okay, here's the real question. Who's been playing WoW Classic? Which unit has been playing WoW Classic? In 2 minutes from now, I'm expecting a boom of people to be like, well, maybe not. Maybe a lot of people are just still in playing WoW Classic and not watching the stream today. It's very possible. A couple of Hellions at the front getting shut down. We did see the Adepts forcing SCVs to the high ground, but a bit of back and forth doesn't really go one way more than the other. The Reaper lost out for Bunny, but that's about it. And just going into that Cyclone, once again going into the pretty fast third CC, he's pretty much just sticking to what he did in game number 1. So, or game 3 of this series, game 1 of this Bunny versus Cyan matchup. Bunny just not really changing much up at all, just saying, yeah, you know what, this was kind of working out. We'll just kind of stick with this for the moment. So those Adepts shading across down to the bottom side. Now shading out over to the left as well. Oracle coming over to the left-hand side too. Cyclone about to finish. A few more Marines on the way out. This barracks going to be finishing up in a moment or two, and that will allow the tech lab to start as well. And obviously then you start moving into a step, etc. These Marine Adepts are going to commit past the depot bunker, into the mineral line. We'll start getting some damage done. Only one of the Cyclones locked on. SCV's going down. Just a couple SCVs down, plus one attack on the engineering bay. Going to be the next little moment here as Robo Facility going to be finishing up shortly. Phoenix Corona boosting out as well. The 2 Hellions did get caught in a stasis. Next is finishing up in a few moments' time. Bunker just hanging out in the front of the natural and just going to be seeing Hellions pop the other stasis ward. This is so nice. The Hellions just being able to kind of pop those stasis wards takes away a lot of the defense that's been setting up for Cyan back at home. So, especially as Bunny starts to get Medivacs on the way, is getting stim soon, going up to 5 racks now as well because, well, the third CC is already moving into position. Altogether pretty good as we're going to be seeing this orbital blocked from landing once again. The Cyclones nearly wander into that with the Marine, and that shouldn't block the orbital. Nope. Perfect. Just out of range. So Bunny is able to get the third base down without too much of a delay in the end, as Cyan just quite comfortably goes into 6 more gateways. Goes into Blink as his first upgrade here, now +1 attack. It's kind of late for the first, I say first tech choice, I mean, I know there's a, being Star, I guess Stargate and an Immortal already. Kaizi, I guess the robot was kind of like a bit faster than I expected. Usually if you get a Twilight upgrade this late, you would go Charge first as a preference, especially if you're going to play like a very gateway heavy style, which is what Cyan seems to be doing. The Charge first then would help you, if you go like Twilight Council, like, Stargate into Twilight or Twilight Council off the start. But yeah, I'd maybe be more expecting Charge right now, because Blink just makes it feel very difficult to kind of hold on against some of these attacks. Because the Stalkers just aren't that tanky, and while, yeah, blinking away is quite nice, it's, is it enough, I suppose, is the question. As we do see, the Oracle's going to go after a Concussive Shell upgrade. I mean, yeah, they might get the Concussive Shells. They're going to be chased away by one Marine for the moment. Cyclone coming in as well, they won't commit for it. I mean, again, it's just Concussive Shells, so it's not really important at all. I mean, it's such a short upgrade as well anyways that it would just rebuild in a few seconds. So not worth losing an Oracle over. Much better to keep those Oracles alive and pumping up the energy to be put to use as well. Well, the Rope Bay is coming into play, and the Colossus do make a bit of sense if you go for that Blink first. Yes, if you're going to go Blink first, then you kind of do want to go Colossus. It's just weird, right? Because it's not like, it kind of is like mass gateway units and then Colossus. It's not like Colossus pretty quickly, so I still feel there is a bit of a vulnerable few moments here for Cyan where, well, first of all, doesn't even have upgrades finished at the moment. Just going to find a Cyclone at the front and Blink back, keeps the Stalkers alive. They're getting back towards shield batteries here, and 2 more shield batteries adding on the third base. Out on the bottom, we see a dropship unloading because the drop defense in the main base is good, so Bunny not finding any openings just yet. More Zealots warping in again. They don't have charge yet, so that's absolutely a bit of a problem. We see some units in the main. Looks like we're going to have even more drops down the bottom, so Bunny is really focusing on hitting that main base and hitting it hard. If he can unload in the main, he can absolutely deal damage here. I mean, there's not a lot of units to deal with 4 medevacts of stuff, so definite opportunity for Bunny, who will go into a second starport, is already preparing to be able to build up Vikings if needed against Colossus. Here we go, medevac's going to boost, scans the units kind of out of position, and Cyan very slow to respond. Those gateway units, sorry, not moving into position at all just yet. Remember, no charge yet as well, so Zealot warpings aren't great. Oh my god, he just warped his Zealots into Widow Mindfire, so a lot of them go down before they even come out. 17 probes killed, and this main base attack is extremely successful out of Bunny. What was that recall? He recalled like 2 Zealots and an Immortal. Oh my god. Even that recall was a disaster. Now we're going to see Bunny trying to push at the front as well at the same time. In the main base, more Zealots going down. A couple more Stalkers falling. Bunny is absolutely just... He didn't even pick Cyan apart. Cyan just did not respond to this attack in the main base sufficiently. And has taken way too much damage from there. +2 attack denied. +1 armor might go down if he target fires it. Yep, goodbye +1 armor, so... Terran going to remain in an upgrade lead for the game, basically, at that point. Extended Thermal Lance also down. No more Colossus production allowed. And obviously now reinforcements of Bunny just streaming across the map. I mean, Cyan can't even seem to get a hold of this drop in the main base still. Bunny is still just, getting so much done with these units. Again, the rallying units at the front are about to push up. Stalker's going to try and Blink micro their way out of Widow Mindfire, but again, the Marauder shots are just doing so much. Again, warp Zealots in towards Widow Mindfire. The Sentry Force still there isn't enough, and Bunny will take game 4 and put Kaizi Gaming.
Sometimes when you're here, I can feel no doubt, 'cause you keep me where the stars are bound. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now. Sometimes when you're here, I can feel no doubts. 'Cause you keep me where the stars are bound. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really Sometimes when you're here, I can feel no doubts. 'Cause you keep me where the stars are bound. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now.
Welcome back as we go into Super versus Dream. Kaizi Gaming up 3-1 in this series. And that means that if Super is able to take one map, he'll close out this series for his team. He is the Blue Protoss on the top left-hand side. And if we want our first ace match of the tournament of this season, we have to pray that Dream is able to take this 2-0 and tie it up 3-3 in the match in the best of 7. So that's currently what's going on. As we set this up and get this underway. Bizu Dagger says, "Ad time opening up the stream on multiple devices." Ay ay ay. I mean, that's some real life dedication right there. I like it. What can I say? It's can't complain of that one, can you? No. Alright, in all seriousness though, if you guys are enjoying the stream, do hit that follow button. I mean, that's probably the best thing you can do. See when we go live in the future. If you've missed any of the China Team Championship action, we are taking a hit on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube videos do worse when we upload more than one a day, but we are currently uploading 2 a day to make sure that you guys get the China Team Championship action as soon as possible on YouTube. So go check that out. It's on the YouTube channel if you missed any of the matches. You want to go and catch up. It's exclamation mark YouTube in the chat. The game here though is being established. We're going to be seeing an Oracle as the initial opening choice from Super, and it is proxy to cross over to this right hand side. So already getting this Oracle Chrono boosting out. So Oracle going to be finishing in a few moments time. Orbital command on the natural, and again Stimpack going to be continuing up as well as the Reaper from Dream continuing around. Up in the center, looking to see what's going on. As the Widow Mine from Dream going to be popping in the next few moments. Oracle will fly past, and after 1 kill, is going to go into the main base for kill number 2 and 3 pretty quickly afterwards. Widow Mine is something the SCVs can run out of 2 though, and the Marines actually getting some good damage done onto that Oracle, but 3 workers lost, and Super will not be too unhappy with that startup, I don't think. Twilight Council now underway in the main base, so getting that rolling. 2 more gateways on the way up. And again, Widow Mine just production continuing too here. Still have those Oracles of Super moving out around, and they're going to be starting to head in towards the main base now. Marines pressing forward, able to deal a little bit of damage there. Reactor building up on the factory. Starport coming in too. Oh, and the Reaper going to get caught in with the probes there, so Reaper will go down. Twilight Council going to be starting to research that Blink, so Blink going to be chrono boosting out at the moment. More probes on the way in as well. And you do have the Stimpack just a few seconds away from finishing here. And yeah, Reactor coming up on the factory. Starport going to be finishing in a few moments as well. Yeah, Stimback finishes. It's not the same build as before, as we kind of saw in the previous TVPs. Obviously, it's a different Terran player. But yeah, we saw kind of very fast 3CCs before. This is a very fast stim into combat shields. Starport now to the Reactor, so we will be able to see, of course, the movement towards some medevacs here initially. And that's going to be the next little stage of this, as we are going to be seeing the stasis ward dropping down just out the front at the moment. And a couple more medevacs on the way up, going to be popping in a moment. Combat shield's about halfway done here, and the +1 attack on the engineering bay on the way up in that natural expansion too. 5 more gates building at the moment, a couple more probes. We're just really kind of just seeing, Super keeping pretty good control of the map, while really just happy to go into a bit of a later game here. You see, Super's blink finishes now at like 5:45, and it feels like that was the time Cyan's blink was starting. And that's why I was just a bit concerned about going blink before charge, because it really does just kind of, it really was just late in the game to not have a charge or splash damage on the field. But yeah, in the end it was kind of the drops that killed Cyan more than anything else, so I just wanted to kind of point out that kind of difference from this game to the last game or so. Charge continue to upgrade now. Obviously, that comes in straight after Blink when you're playing this heavy gateway style. The gateway numbers rising up pretty quickly there, as Marines are going to find oracles as they come across the map. That's a mistake from Super, absolutely. Down 20 army supply. Needs to be active with those stalkers. With Blink, you absolutely want to be forwards, looking for some pickoffs, blinking away before taking any real damage. Just trying to slow that push down. Buy yourself time for a couple extra units, and especially in this case, if you can buy time for charge and +1 armor, even better, because that really is the next sort of, the leveling up part of this composition right now. Bit more bio coming down to the south. This Phoenix here from Super, flying along the left-hand side as well. More Stalkers gathering up on the top, and a couple of cannons in production as well. 4 more Zealots coming out too, +1 armor and charge about to finish. And on we go. Just gonna see Bio Dream coming up high upper left hand side. A few Stalkers setting up. We do see Widow Mines here. Gonna get picked off, so a couple of Widow Mines going down. Cannon still firing away on the medevac. +1 attack, Corona boosting on the Forge, +2 armor. Obviously, upgrades a very important part of this gateway heavy style. As Dream's just gonna find himself pulling back and going into the Ghost Academy. Now, the Ghosts are absolutely something that we've seen so much of for the last few days since that upgrade came into play. We've been seeing it a ton. It's really been kind of crazy. And that enhanced shockwaves, we've seen the power of it. It has been able to turn some of these late game fights very Terran favored. When in the past, I mean, obviously if you hit good EMPs, you hit good EMPs, right? And it's very strong for Terran. If you do hit good EMPs, it's just easier to hit good EMPs now. And so obviously that's, a direct buff to that Terran sort of stage. Now, Ghosts have always been good against this sort of composition that Super's running, right? A lot of gateway units, you're relying a lot on very tanky Zealots, etc. So if your shields go down, you're already in trouble. You lose the Guardian shields and the sentries, perhaps. Your follow-up is usually going to be Storm/Archons, and so obviously Ghosts are a natural kind of counter there as well. So by going Ghosts to deal with this kind of gateway-heavy force initially, you're already countering what is the usual kind of next AoE choice from the Protoss player going on in the game. So, love the choice to go Ghosts. Love that we see enhanced shockwaves right away. That upgrade is just so vital to the Ghosts nowadays. I mean, there's absolutely... I really could not think of a reason not to get that if you're building Ghosts against Protoss, at least. Obviously, if you're playing Ghost versus Zerg, you might be, maybe looking to snipe more than you look into EMP. Although if there is a high Infestor count, Shockwave is going to help hit those Infestors as well. Yeah, against Protoss, I can't imagine a reason you would want to not have the upgrade. It's... yeah, maybe if you're trying to hit like some kind of 3 Ghost time in attack or something, and you're pulling the SCVs, Maybe then, because he wanted to just put as much money into units as possible, but yeah, I don't really see it. Well, I was talking all about that, you know, Archons and Storm and stuff, but actually we're going to be seeing the Robot Base just finished in a second facility, so while the Temple Archives is up, Super is actually not going to utilize it, is instead going to go into Colossus production. So yeah, I mean, Dream obviously isn't going to be really prepared against Colossus, but if you can still get a good set of EMPs, it can go a long way to helping out. He has started some Viking production, so it seems like Dream's actual scouting has been pretty successful. He's been able to keep on top of what's going on here. Never really saw this in the main, but maybe he's just been able to figure out. Maybe he just wanted to build some Vikings now anyways to help deal with the Warp Prism, help try and push that down. Let's chasing the Prism away over to that bottom left-hand side. Zealots, Stalkers, and Sentries in through the center. Someone gets picked off. Well, EMPs did go down there. I mean, for Super, it's kind of a hard map to fight on, right? Because of these bridges, and if you're running across bridges into EMPs, you're naturally stacking up and, you know, making a problem for yourself, basically. So you have to be a little bit careful. EMPs dropping down again. Zard Stalkers coming across the ramps. Guardian Shield is going to pop up. Big EMPs land. Oh my god. Well, Super's going to kind of go for it, relying on the Colossus to really carry him through this fight. Guardian Shields is down, even though the Sentry's got EMP'd pretty soon after. Stalkers blinking forward is going to start getting quite a few medevacs. I mean, the big problem is the Colossus are still alive. And if there's not enough to support these Vikings, then the Colossus will just never die. And you can see this happening right now. The Stalkers focusing down the Vikings. And as the Vikings go down, I mean, the Colossus is still alive, and there's just no way for Dream to answer those Colossus. And Super might be about to give Kaizi Gaming their first ever win in the China Team Championship. A new team for Season 2. Unfortunately, it means that Brave Star Game will be left hunting for their first ever win after week number 1. As Kaizi only need this map to win the series. We will have map 6 played anyways, because of the format and etc. But yeah, it looks as though the Stalkers blink in, the Zealots charge forwards. Now the Colossus do start to go down. I mean, the Vikings not being dealt with as effectively. The Stalkers were over on the top side rather than the left. But yeah, 20 SCVs have fallen. The army supply keeps dropping. A few more Zealots are warping in on this left-hand side, so they're going to be here soon. This base was already picked off during all of this as well. I mean, this is absolutely it. Dream just has to type out GG, and Super makes it happen. 4-6 of this series. It's 4-1, obviously. Again, the series is decided, but all 6 games initially get played anyways. We go into World of Sleepers, game number 6. It's the bottom left-hand side, our Red Cross player, Super, going up against the Blue Terran top right, Dream. Again, unfortunately, Dream cannot save his team, but it's going to be not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. I mean, it's just week 1 of the league. Bravestar are kind of an interesting team because it feels like they have a lot of potential. You know, I feel like Hurricane, very good. I feel Cyan is one of the better Chinese players. I feel, you know, Dream is pretty darn good as well right now. But Misaki taking a map was obviously really something unexpected, and that's obviously been the problem. Because if Misaki had taken, you know, if Hurricane had been able to pick up the 2-0 against Misaki, which is kind of the usual kind of expected way of things going, then Dream could have maybe, would only be like 3-2 right now, and he could still win this map to force an ace match. But yeah, unfortunately, the Misaki series absolutely put Kaizi in a commanding position in this matchup. So good on there. What's up, Twitch Petfo, coming in with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Can you get some love in the chat for that one, guys? Much appreciated. Thank you so much, Petfo. Hope you're doing well, dude. Thanks for supporting the stream. As we do just have the opening here, going to be a 2-1-1, so second rack's already on the way up. Dream just looking to go for some early drop-based play. Try and get some damage done early and control the map with the Medivacs rather than playing attack-heavy style. This can be a little bit weak to certain aggressive openings of the Protoss player, because obviously you're going to be playing without later factory, and even though it's a later factory, it's also usually without a factory in a way, because you're actually going to be playing an opening which is not going to get a siege tank, etc., and stuff like that. Wardy, do you still like to hear the StarCraft music since you hear it so much? Yeah, I mean, I don't really like listen to it in the sense of like actively listening to it, right? Like, I don't get in my car and whack in my StarCraft CD and listen to it driving around, and I'm like, God, this is fucking great. Because I feel like if I did that, I'd be like, come on, I listen to this all day anyways. But because it's kind of just background noise to me, it's like I wouldn't say I get sick of listening to it. Super still players. Yeah, he came back from the military not long ago and even made it into GSL, took a map off Maru. I mean, yeah, dude's pretty good, you know? Dude's pretty good. See, I even sing the music when it goes along sometimes, so, you know. I don't know. I think the StarCraft music's good. It'd be worse if it was like really annoying music, right? But it is also just the kind of music that's just very typically just pleasing and like soundtracky, right? So, yeah. Interesting question though. I like it. Twitch chat coming over with the fun questions today. Something I can get behind. Hallucinated Phoenix will poof out of existence right there. And will be gone as a couple sentries and a Stalker gathering up out the front of the natural. Third Nexus dropping down from Super as well. His blink opening here. So really just avoiding the Stargate this time completely. Getting that blink up nice and quickly. And we'll see how he wants to do with that as we do have the probes moving over to the third base. Going to start mining away there. A couple of forges continuing up. Checks the gateways also on the way out. Blink gonna finish his +1 attack and armor coming in on those forges. Gonna be chrono boosting away. Marines pick up that hallucinated Phoenix pretty darn quickly there. And again, one more upgrade just coming along. That's painful, just walk straight into that Widow Mine, especially when you have Blink available. But yeah, it feels like Super's going for a similar style, right? Maybe not into the Colossus necessarily, just yet and so on, but the opening is the same in the sense that it's just going to be a lot of gateway units. Charge, blink, upgrades, you know, +1s. Double Forge especially will give you a lot of power on this gateway force. It means the upgrade advantage is going to be heavily in the Protoss favor, which really helps to, again, just make those gateway-based trades against Bio that bit more effective. If you have an extra upgrade, you can trade that much better without the need for splash damage, which, you know, for a long time in TVP or PVT was absolutely the way you had to play Protoss, right? And it's been a long time since we've been in that sort of stage, since you've had to play splash damage, but this has always been that other kind of very commanding style, where fast upgrades, a lot of gateway units can also do very well. This is going to be a dead Cybercore, so this is quite nice. This investing quite a bit on this side to block the Reaper early game, to block the scouting, is now going to cost Super a few of his buildings. So while it was a good way to deny scouting earlier, he now loses a pylon, a gateway, and a cybernetics core, which obviously becomes pretty painful. So yeah, that really is something quite unfortunate there. Around the left-hand side, Zealots and sentries coming forwards. Yeah, Bio just pulling back a little bit. Bio and Medevac still gathering together, then we see Solid Stalkers and Sentries pressing forwards too. These odds already going down, and we'll see another couple continue to drop as well. A good couple of force fields to cut this army in half right away. put that in half without too many issues. Again, this Bioforce thinking about where I might want to go. A couple more SCVs across the map, taking quite a lot of damage. 5 workers down. It's going to keep on increasing to 6, 7, 8. 2 adepts do shade up into the main base there. 10 workers now killed in recent times as we see the Stalker Zealots and Sentries walking up this ramp. And again, we'll look to see what's going on. 2 adepts taking some shots from the Marauders, and we are going to be having the damage done here is pretty serious, and at the same time now pushing the third base. I mean, I like this. Forces units away, now blinks onto the third. Obviously, you have to respond to this because you have to protect the third. If you don't protect the third and you lose that command center, this is a huge problem, and Dream is just falling apart here. As we're going to be seeing Zealots just keep charging in. Dream just does not have the numbers at all. So, yeah, not looking too great for Dream right now. As we'll see, Stalkers will recall. There is a bit of a drop in the main. I mean, Super will blink, won't quite catch that medevac, but Dream, at least he kept this base alive, but he's down 21 workers. Rebuilding is going to be extremely difficult, and there's 2-2 upgrades rolling, especially. Super's going to have that as a pretty significant advantage, which is obviously pretty good for him. As we do just see the army here from Super gathering up in the center, the bio units picking their way through the pylon. Dream is once again trying to get up into the enhanced shockwaves and the ghosts, but it seems like a very difficult task right now is going to be. Still just seeing Stalkers pressing in. A couple of Marines will go down. Marauder goes down as well, just picking off reinforcing units. Tell you what, Dream has recovered in terms of supply pretty well, but I mean, surely Super's economy is just so superior. There's got to be no way. Not really a believer at the moment. Probes going down as well. Damage being done as we're going to be seeing the Dark Shrine finishing up from Super in the next moment or two. Well, this has been some nice aggression and from Dream to get back in it a little bit, but I'm going to probe count down. Dream actually even up in supply at the moment after Super was doing so well. I mean, yeah. It's kind of a crazy turnaround. Let's see what these Dark Templar will do as they finish warping in. One splits off to the top, the other splits down to the south. Here you go, pressing forwards. Supply Depot drops in at the front there, and the first CT already into the mineral line, going to be able to pick away at a few SCVs. So SCVs starting to go down, Marines taking some damage as well. Oh my god, that EMP just... The increased radius EMP just missed the Dark Templar. That's so frustrating. Obviously, EMP's reveal DT, so just doing that rather than another, or something. Fire army still coming into the middle of the map. We do see Super heading up to the top side with this warp prism. A few zealots to the side of it. Zealot, Stalkers, and Sentries. Big EMP on the Stalkers actually to start off with. A few SCVs going down. DT still causing chaos on the third base. Couple more medevacs here. Production as the Zealots go into the main. Well, let's see if... I mean, the biggest issue here has got to be Super trying to fight this army, which... It's not going to be easy if he gets EMP'd like that. This time the EMPs are very good. Now Dream's taking a lot of damage. Super just needs a way to hold on. He's about to be on +3 armor, so these Zealots are about to be so tanky. Another EMP only hits half the Zealots this time. Now the Zealots can come in from 2 angles. And Dream has done a lot of stimming as well. One last EMP dropping in. The medevacs feel as though they're already kind of trying to find a way out, but Stalkers are here targeting them down, and this army is going to fall. The reinforcements from Super just a bit too much. The oversims from Dream a bit too costly. And Dream not able to rebuild from this. Looks as though this is going to be about it. 28 SCVs down across the map as that Zealot is only just now finally being finished off. And War Prism looks as though it's going to loop around to the main army just to make one final push up through the center of the map. Super looking to take this first series 5-1. Juicy again. Stalker sentries and a few Zards just continuing up in the bottom right-hand side. Zards continue to unload, and the Marines and Marauders will continue to get picked off here. Medevac loads up, doesn't know where else to run to. Zards just going to see a few of those running in towards that mineral line here on the right side. SCVs continuing to drop. Again, this is truly just going to be it in the next few moments, as there really isn't much else to say. They're going to see the Zards continue to go down the bio. Chasing them Zards down there. Now a couple Colossus showing up too. It's been a kind of an extended victory, but we're going to get there in the end. For Super to take this 5-1 for Kaizi Gaming. Again, a brutal start to the season for Brave Star Gaming. Absolutely not what they would have been hoping for. Base goes down. The bio finally Dream will type out that